And we're on. So it's Wednesday. That means it's time for our essential oil profile. Today, we are going to be talking about one of my very favorite essential oils. It's called Ylang-ylang. I don't know if you can see that very well. Ylang-ylang. It's that funny name, Y-L-A-N-G, Y-L-A-N-G. And you probably look at it and you have no idea how to say it, and that's okay. It means flower of flowers. This is a tropical flower. It is also known as poor man's jasmine. So if you have smelled jasmine before, but you've never experienced ylang-ylang, it is somewhat similar, though much more affordable. So ylang-ylang grows in tropical climates and it blooms most at night. And it is distilled in what are called fractions. So when you are looking for ylang-ylang, there are different grades or fractions of ylang-ylang. It's kind of different than a lot of other essential oils out there. And as you guys are popping on, if you have any questions about ylang-ylang, or if you have any questions about what I'm explaining, please go ahead and put that in the chat thread, and then I can answer your questions while we're live. That's one of the fun things about doing the lives, is that we have this interactive capability. So the Latin on this is Cananga odorata, if you're looking for that. And I like to use a ylang-ylang complete, which means that it has all of the different fractions of the distillation complete in the bottle. So when they distill ylang-ylang, they take the first fraction, the first few hours of distillation, and they sell that as the highest grade. The second few hours of distillation is the middle grade price, and the last section of the distillation is the lowest price. So it's called 1, 2, or 3. If you want to have the whole totality of the ylang-ylang, which is going to have the widest range of different compounds in it, primarily the ones that are calming, you're going to look for ylang-ylang complete. And if you're looking to get your hands on some of this, I can connect you. This is from Floricopia, who's an amazing company that I love and would love to support and put you in contact with. So ylang-ylang, how do we use this? Why do we use this? I bring this up for a couple of very important reasons today. So on a personal note, I need this today because it's been a stressful day. I have found multiple floods in my basement. I have found more places where mice have invaded my house. And it's just been kind of a crazy day of when I go to do something, I get totally derailed because these other natural disasters are happening. So if you're having a day like that, grab ylang-ylang. Ylang-ylang has been found in studies to be anxiolytic, meaning that it is good to counteract the symptoms of anxiety. So one of the things that's really great about it, though, is that compared to something like lavender, which is relaxing and sometimes makes you want to go to sleep, or chamomile, which can be the same way, ylang-ylang will actually calm your heart down, but it will make your alertness stronger. So that is really nice when you need to be awake and alert during the day, but you need to calm the you-know-what down. Very good to have ylang-ylang in your home pharmacy for those kind of days. But it has so many other applications, and I put some of those in the title of this video, so if you're ever searching for something on my page here, you can find it for that. So anything that kind of falls into the anxiety spectrum or mood spectrum on that sort of stressed out range of things is going to be really helped by something like ylang-ylang. So this means like anything from post-traumatic stress disorder, which can be supported, the processing through of that can be supported by ylang-ylang, or something like PMS. Now, anytime that we have a flower essential oil, we have a plant whose entire existence, the flower's entire existence, is based on biorhythms and the cycles of the sun and the moon. So the flower opens at certain times of day and it closes at certain times of day. It has stronger scent during certain times of day and not as much at other times. So it's a unique part of the plant that does seem to be more responsive and in tune to those changing cycles. And as women, for those of you that are watching this are female, we have those changing cycles in our bodies as well. So what we can surmise from that is that any flower essential oil can be supportive to our female health, and that's a very complex subject that maybe I'll dive into with you guys sometime. But the reason that some of these flower essential oils are so good for things like PMS, for painful periods, for that like sort of like low self-esteem and irritability that happens sometimes before the period, this can really, really help to even that out and to help you feel like you're not standing outside of yourself, watching yourself, realizing that you're totally acting insane, but you feel like you can't do anything about it. This can really help with that. So how do you use this? You want to do it a couple different ways. I like to diffuse ylang-ylang in my space when I'm having one of those days where I'm just needing some help with my moods. I also have struggled with anxiety in the past, and it's not something that I battle a whole lot with at this juncture because I've kind of tackled that with nutrition and adaptogenic herbs as well as with aromatherapy. Though every once in a while when I go through a really stressed out period, I will have racing heart or heart palpitations. And if this is you and you've had that all checked out by a doctor and you know that it's just stress related and nothing serious, then this could be super, super helpful for you as well. So the ylang-ylang has the ability to clear what's called heat in traditional Chinese medicine, which is a pernicious influence, from the heart. And it has the ability from an Ayurvedic standpoint to calm vata and pitta. So pitta is heat. If we think of coming out of summer when we've had that really hot season, sometimes that heat has gotten built up in the body from those many, many months of exposure to that. And so we want to help to alleviate that. And as we move into fall, we have a lot of windy, blustery days and a lot of days where, you know, sort of like PMS, our weather is like constantly changing. Like it's different every few hours, it's different. And what that can do for us in our bodies, in our constitutions, in our spirits is to cause a sense of ungrounding and a lot of extra anxiety. So if you're feeling a little bit more anxious as we move into fall, know that that's actually normal. It's kind of part of this transition into the fall season and it's part of fall. And so knowing that, then it can be helpful to counteract that effect in the body of that excess vata, is what it's called. It's the element of wind. Too much movement, not enough grounding to the earth, with something like ylang-ylang that is known to create a sense of euphoria, happiness, a sense of feeling sexy, maybe. This is also a really incredible aphrodisiac, one of the best aphrodisiacs that we have in aromatherapy. All of those things kind of counteracting all of the gross feelings that come along with anxiety. Now, one of my very, very favorite hacks, and you guys will hear me talk about this a lot because it's really incredible, is to mix ylang-ylang as a perfume with vetiver. So vetiver is another essential oil. It's very earthy. It comes from the root of a grass. It's a very almost like it's like pine sap in its texture. It's very sticky, very unctuous, and it's kind of one of the best tools that we have in aromatherapy for grounding ourselves down to the ground when we feel anxious, when we feel out of control, when we feel chaotic. But sometimes grounding isn't enough. You also want to actually feel like you can be in a good mood. And so mixing that with the ylang-ylang, and particularly if you have that heart palpitation, racing heart stuff going on, of course, again, always check with your doctor and make sure that there's nothing serious happening with that. But one thing that I like to do is I will actually use, this is one of the few that I'll use straight on my skin as a perfume. Now, I'm not spreading this all over my body. I'm using this as a perfume where I'm using it on a particular acupuncture point along with vetiver. So I'll mix my vetiver and my ylang-ylang. So I'll just take a drop of the ylang-ylang and I'll either use it as a perfume like that, or there's actually right here above your heart, there's a little tender spot just to the left of center, about an inch in between your ribs. That is a very effective pressure point for that sort of racing heart palpitation stuff. And so I'll actually put the ylang-ylang and or the vetiver right on that point right there. I learned this from my massage therapist, and it has been a lifesaver for me, and it just feels good. It just helps my body and my mind and my spirit to feel good. I just feel like all of the stresses of the day just kind of like, I don't care as much about it, and I feel like I can be around people in my life without that irritability, and it's really helpful for that. Ylang-ylang also mixes really easily with a lot of other things in addition to vetiver, so I'll just give you some other ideas here that I have written down. So bergamot, Roman chamomile, clary sage, fennel, all of those being things that can be really also hormonally balancing for women particularly. frankincense, rose geranium, ginger, mandarin, patchouli, and of course vetiver that I already mentioned. So really mixes with a lot of things and can be fun to play with in your diffuser as well. And this is also fun to do an aromatic bath for yourself when you want to get yourself into a more sexy mood for your partner, or just to feel, you know, that feminine embodiment of yourself. To do an aromatic bath by putting in some Epsom salts or some other kind of salt into your bath, and then a couple drops of the ylang-ylang, and it's just like, you know, Calgon Take Me Away, except it's Ylang-ylang Take Me Away. So try the Flower Flowers. If you have not met her yet, you will love her. Most people love her. Some people find her too strong. If it's too strong for you, then maybe look at something like jasmine, which, although intense, dissipates a lot more quickly. Ylang-ylang tends to stick around a little bit longer, which is nice, especially if you're using it as perfume. So that is our essential oil profile today. If you're watching this live, end of September here, and you're a massage therapist, I want you guys in North Dakota who are massage therapists to know that I will be doing the continuing education training for the AMTA North Dakota chapter in October in Bismarck. So look into that. I would love to see you in class. We're going to be doing pretty much essential oils beginning to end, including 6 hands-on hours with different essential oil applications that we're going to be mixing together and then actually applying in massage. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. I can't wait to see you guys. So make sure that you get yourself signed up for that, because it's limited space, obviously. So that's what we have going on today, and I hope you have a wonderful day playing with and getting to know Ylang-ylang.